So as a photographer and creator, I think I can speak for everyone in this whole creative space that we all want to create something that no one else has created before, whether that be a photo gallery or a photo book, collage, or anything of the sorts. That's all been done before. You can find almost any photographer who's created a calendar, who's created a t-shirt with one of their photos on it, or just a complete book of their photos. That is nothing new. And with this video, this is going to be a couple part series of behind the scenes, or kind of me talking about creating this project that I've been cooking up for a while now. So before I actually tell you what that project is, let me give you a little bit of a backstory so it makes a little bit more sense. So last year I came up with this idea. I've never really seen someone do a photo gallery that includes music, stories, and their photos. Within this piece, I wanted to create something that I've never really seen done before. And I had the idea of creating a custom vinyl that would include photos, that would have stories that correspond with it, and songs that also correspond with that photo, that I feel that song would kind of correlate with that photo. Did that happen? No. Money got in the way. I didn't really feel like spending a couple $100 on a custom vinyl case, the custom vinyl itself. That got really expensive, and another big reason I didn't do it is because creating a story for each photo would have taken a very long time. To come up with one, to have it make sense, and to have it somewhat interesting would have taken a lot of time. So I kind of scrapped that idea. I kind of left it alone, deleted that Google Doc, and just completely forgot all about it. So then that idea kind of came back into my head a few months ago, and I wanted to create something with the exact same idea, same premise, but a little more realistic as a first creative project that I wanted to create. So with that, I decided I would create the exact same thing for the most part, but in a CD. Now, it's not as cool or as extravagant as a whole vinyl, but I thought it would get the creative idea around that you can create something using your photos, but you can also use other pieces of art to kind of manipulate that photo in a sense. So with this project, there's going to be three things in it: the photo, a song, and a poem. So instead of stories, I decided to write poems that I've collected throughout the past year or so, and also correlate some of my favorite photos that I feel kind of respond to that poem in an appropriate way, whether that be the mood or vibe, whatever it may be. And also that corresponds to the photos, whatever I feel, or the songs, whatever the song I feel kind of ties in with that photo and poem, that's what I would put as that photo, or put towards that photo. So one of my photos is a little bit darker, so I put a little bit of a darker song on that, and it kind of corresponds with the whole darker photo, darker song. Gotta find a poem that kind of corresponds to that. So that's kind of the idea. I started to draft the photos I wanted, pick those. I already had some songs in mind that I wanted, so there was no difficulty there choosing those. Then the poems, I already kind of had some collected throughout the past few months that I could just pick and choose what I felt was appropriate to put into that photo, and with the song that would match its best representation, so got that together. Now this was the challenge. The challenge of this project so far, which sounds really dumb, I'm sure there's much easier ways of doing it, was creating the actual pamphlet. Because this is going to be about a 6-photo pamphlet. Here, let me show you. Take this for example. Made in the AM One Direction CD album. So we open it up. It's kind of broken. That's okay, I've had this thing for years. You have this. You usually have these on the inside of every CD. It's like a little pamphlet that includes lyrics usually, and maybe some artwork. That's exactly what I'm trying to create. It seems simple, and it's a no-brainer that it would seem simple, but it really is kind of difficult when you're the one creating it, when you're the one designing it, when you're the one doing all the graphic design, and also having to figure out what goes where on each page, because each photo, here, I'll show you. So if you look closely, I don't really know, you're not going to be able to see that. This front page is theoretically also the back page. So what my first photo may be, when I put that into Photoshop, I would have a line down the middle, this side of the page, and another side of the page. So you would think it'd be as simple as having photo 1 and then collection of words over here. It's not that easy. So let's take a look at the second page. The second page would be photo 2. But if we flip to where the page lines up, because it's just page, page, page. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't. So that may seem pretty simple entirely. Having to graphic design and having to plan it all out, let me just show you. This here is the blueprint. So you have front, back. It's literally a blueprint of everything I did. I'm not even going to try to explain it because I'm going to confuse myself trying to explain it. But this is exactly what I'm basing everything else on. And it's very convoluting and a little bit of at first it was very confusing and it was headache inducing. Now I kind of understand exactly what I'm doing. But in the beginning, this was something I actually almost gave up on and something I almost completely scrapped the project again. Now, graphic designing for this has been, I haven't gotten too much into it. I haven't finished much. I've only gotten like 1 or 2 pages done. I don't know if I'm going to be showing those on stream, but from what I've done, this is going to be something that's focused more on the art of what this is rather than the whole aesthetic of it. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to impress anyone with the graphic designing of it. I'm trying to show a story, show the creativity that you can do as a photographer, as an artist, or a creative individual, and go out of the box to create something that I feel like I haven't seen anyone done. So while this may not be the most professional looking project that someone could do, I'm sure there's better ways of doing this and more professional ways of doing this. I don't think that's not the point of this project. The point of this project is to create something that no one's created before that I'm aware of, and create something that I would be proud of, something I would be happy to share, and something that I can look at physically, because as Peter McKinnon says, people don't do enough prints. This is my version of doing something that is physical, something that can be shown to people. And here's the only issue with that. Here's something I have to make sure that I make obvious. This project is going to contain copyrighted music. There's no way around that. So what I'm basically trying to say is this is all for nonprofit. This is all just for creative construction. Something that I've never done before, something to experiment with, something to be proud of. And the only annoying thing with that is if I include music, there's going to be copyright. So I'm not going to really be able to expand on it the way I want to. I might try and post the actual project on YouTube, like have the photo and the poem and the song name while the music plays for each thing and have that on my channel. I'm not going to be able to make multiple copies of the CD, like physical copies, and show it to everyone. I'm only going to have one copy. I'm only going to be able to show it to whoever I'm able to show it to with that one physical copy. So that's the only downfall to this project, is the copyright stuff. That's the only thing that's stopping me from being able to make multiple copies. I could make multiple copies, but I'm not going to be able to distribute them in the sense that I could sell them like prints. Like I said, this is not about money, but this is more of a sense that I'm not going to be able to distribute this the way I could distribute my prints, if that makes sense, because there's copyrighted music that's going to create trouble. So with this conclusion of this first part of this project, I have not told you the name of this project, and I don't know if I want to tell you the name of this project. I came up with a name. It took me a while to figure out, but I came up with a name for this project. Let's just name it Untitled CD Project. That's what this is going to be called, Untitled CD Project, for right now, until I decide to officially name it, which I kind of already did, but I'm not going to tell you because I'm still in the early stages of it. I haven't finished the graphic designing. I haven't even started printing. I haven't even created a CD yet. So for right now, I would say I'm about 30% done. I got the pamphlet done. I got the songs, stories, poems, the songs, photos, and poems all together. I got to figure out the graphic designing. I got to figure out how to print this correctly, how to design it correctly. That will probably take the longest. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. I will see you in part 2 of this Untitled Project CD. Untitled CD Project. Yes, Untitled Project CD. Oh my god. Untitled CD Project. I will see you in part 2 of Untitled CD Project. Bye.